So the simplest way to do solar geoengineering to block out some of the sun is something called aerosol injection, right?
Chemtrails.
Roz, you have to chant it with us.
So here's the idea.
It's
you
fun.
inject aerosols, tiny particles into the upper atmosphere, right? These particles disperse and they block out a small amount of sunlight, and that in turn lowers global temperatures, right? And you do this through chemicals like sulfur dioxide or sulfuric acid, right? And you
estradiol, valerate, finasteride, spironolactone.
We're gonna force feminize the whole planet. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
There have been some ideas of how exactly you inject these aerosols. Some people say you got to do it with a big plane. You do it with a balloon. Some people think you can do it with artillery, which is funny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, artillery I like chemtrail balloon.
Yeah. And this sort of mimics a natural process of blocking out the sunlight, which volcanoes also do, right? So it'd be like a continuous volcanic eruption all around the world.
All right.
Yeah.
Has anyone considered setting off a shitload of volcanoes?
Safe.
Well, you just drop a nuke into Vesuvius. Yeah, great idea.
Not even that. Just dropping like bundles of dynamite into Old Faithful and Yellowstone and just waiting. Is Old Faithful in Yellowstone or Yosemite? It doesn't matter.
It's Yellowstone. One advantage of this is that it's very cheap comparatively to other ideas, right? It's on the order of like a couple $2 billion a year to do a thorough aerosol injection geoengineering process, right? One rich guy like Jeff Bezos could do it, right?
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
There are some potential problems, however.
Don't care. Let's do it.
One of the problems is ozone depletion.
I just said I didn't care what the problems were.
You may have some ozone depletion. That's debated.
Okay, fine. Run it. I don't care.
Change the color of the sky.
Cool. Based. Awesome.
That's
Let's
sick.
do it. Change it to what?
Yeah, exactly. I have questions.
White? Cool.
Yeah. You might get a little bit of acid rain.
Okay.
We already had that problem.
We already have that problem, yeah. We don't know exactly what all the effects would be, right?
Well, when's that ever stopped us before?
This is true, yeah. Another problem with aerosol injection is once you start, you can't stop, right? The aerosols are fairly short-lived, so you have to figure out how to actually reduce emissions and remove CO2 from the atmosphere while you're doing this whole process, right? If you stop doing aerosol injection, global temperatures just shoot up like over a year.
Like more than normal?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, you get a rubber band effect, yeah. That's probably the one we're gonna do. I'm convinced we're gonna do this at some point. I think we're just gonna do this one. It's gonna be stupid. We're gonna do it in the stupidest way possible. But there are some other ideas.
Looking forward to white skies and a job flying a balloon around the upper atmosphere.
You could become a balloonist.
Actually, I want the artillery job. Right? If they let me wear a weird uniform,
nice jaunty cap. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I want the balloonist job, so I can like.
No,
wear a top.
I already took it. I already said dibs. No,
you're stuck with the plane.
Sorry,
No. I'm gonna do the balloon because I want to wear the top hat.
I want to wear the top hat. I wanted the balloon. You should have called dibs
funny
first.
Mustache too.
You already have a funny mustache.
So here's another idea for solar geoengineering, right?
Oh boy.
The idea is you block the sun.
Yes.
Mr. Burns has entered the chat.
Block the sun. Block the sun.
This is more permanent than aerosols, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
You can
blocking the sun, not super well known for being a reversible process.
So there's several ways you can do this, ranging from large terrestrial sunshades to like big mirrors on satellites, right? Essentially, you throw enough large mirrors in orbit to block a predictable amount of sunlight everywhere.
Well, that's going to be a problem with the fucking Kessler syndrome.
You gotta just figure out how to schedule all these satellites. If we just had some agency monitoring all the satellites, this would not be a problem. But we live in this fucking capitalist bullshit where we can't schedule anything.
Just in time satellite scheduling.
Basically.
Another idea, which was put forward by a physicist and science fiction author named Gregory Benford, would be to put a 1,000 kilometer diagonal Fresnel lens at the L1 Lagrange point, right? The Fresnel lens is the one that, it's sort of segmented so it doesn't use so much material, right? And the Lagrange point is, there's several Lagrange points. These are points where a small body will be in sort of gravitational equilibrium between the sun and the earth. It will sort of stay in that same point. There's 5 of them. There's
I hate when I have to fucking go out into the Lagrange point and fucking clean off the giant Fresnel lens with a fucking cloth.
It's fucking giant.
You like that one, huh, Ross?
I put the cloth on a pole like window cleaners use. Like put it in front of the Fresnel lens. It is instantly vaporized. I grab another pole.
I was thinking, isn't this just a Futurama episode with the pile of trash or something? No, some of these are literally Futurama bits.
We installed it backwards. We got more sunlight on the earth. Shit. But the idea is you put this giant Fresnel lens at the number 1 Lagrange point, which is the one directly between the sun and the earth, such that 1% of the sun's light is redirected away from the earth, right?
Yeah, and into a killing beam.
Yes. Welcome to Dark Earth.
A killing beam around the earth, though, also protects us from aliens.
That's true.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm into this one.
So how exactly you get this thing there, I don't know, or how you manufacture it.
You'd have to manufacture it in orbit, right? You'd have to.
I think you probably have to, yeah. And, but the author believes it can be done for under $10 billion. So, that might be cheaper than aerosol injection, assuming he is right, which he is not.
Oh.
So another kind of solar geoengineering, which I think is, the simplest and easiest one to understand, is to move the Earth